Okay, welcome back to lesson 2 on Scratch. Today we want to talk about the blocks here. So we're going to start with the motion blocks. The lesson today will be on the motion blocks. There's two different types of motion blocks. On the left-hand side here you see absolute motion blocks, and on the right-hand side you see relative motion blocks. So the difference between the two is the blocks on the left-hand side, it doesn't really matter where Scratchy starts. He is going to always end up doing the same thing for all of these motions. So for instance, here I've pulled out these blocks, and to activate them I'm just going to click on them using a single click. So here I'm asking Scratchy to point in the direction of negative 90 degrees. Now if you scroll down or use the drop down menu, you'll see that's to the left. So right now he's pointing to the right, so I'm asking him to point to the left. So he's done that here. So it didn't matter where I started. If I double click it again, he doesn't move at all because the left hand side is always the same for him. If I ask him to point to the right here, the same will happen, or he'll just point to the right. And again, if I activate it, he's not going to do anything else because it didn't matter what position he started in. That's absolute motion. So if I ask Scratchy, if I activate this block by clicking on it, if I ask him to set X to the X position to 110 on the x-axis, on the horizontal axis, he just moves in a horizontal line. So he was here before and he moves on a horizontal line. Notice that his Y position or his vertical position does not change. If I ask him to go to 80, he will do that. And again, if I double click it, you can tell it's absolute position, because if I double click it, he doesn't change. He's already at the Y position of 80. So his center is already at the Y position of 80. The difference between these two absolute motion blocks is that they both bring Scratchy to, so let me pull him away from this point right here. His center was already at the horizontal position of 110 and the vertical position of 80. If I ask him to just go there, he'll go back there. But if I ask him to glide there, notice the difference. So I ask him to take 2 seconds to get to this position. And so you'll see that it takes him a little bit longer to get there, as opposed to when you ask him to just go there, he'll get there much quicker.
Okay, so to reiterate, absolute motion on the left means that it doesn't matter where Scratchy is, he'll always end up wherever you tell him to end up, or he'll end up pointing in whatever direction you tell him to point in. On the flip side, on the right-hand side, we have relative motion. And as you can probably guess, relative motion means that it does matter where Scratchy starts off with. So let's say we see here that Scratchy is pointing in direction 90, he's pointing to the right. If we tell him to turn 15 degrees, you'll see he turns slightly. But if we tell him to turn 15 degrees again, he's going to turn another 15 degrees. And if we keep going, he's going to keep turning 15 degrees. And you'll notice that clicking on this repeatedly will keep changing his direction. If we reset his direction, again, it doesn't do anything other than the first click, but here, multiple times does matter. And now here we have change X by and change Y by. Similarly, these are going to change his X and Y position by a set amount. And let's keep it at, let's say 30, so we can see the difference is more. Oops, change that to 30. And now if we click on it, you'll see that he moves forward by 30. But if we drag him over here up in the corner and we press it again, you'll see he'll move over to the right along the x-axis, along his x-axis, the same amount. Same thing if we drag him down here. Change X by 30, he'll go over by 30. And it works the same way with Y. Click on that, he'll go up by 30 every time that's activated. And just in case you were not aware, this works with negative numbers as well. If you want him to go down, he'll go towards a negative Y by 30, so negative 30. Okay, so that's it.
See you later.